we have a huge chunk of inventory just above us. Here it is, look at that. So short term, if I want to go back long, I'd want that on side. Genuine covering into Singapore. I got into this somewhere around here. I just waited for the market to show me what was going on. But using, and this is not something we've seen for a while, is it? Such chunky business going through. And that's a big part of having the conviction. That's pretty much expansion. So same deal, take some money. Leave a runner. First time I tried to leave a runner, I gave it all back. Well, not all of it, but a good majority of it, because the volume wasn't until down here. So I literally just watched it disappear. But that's the whole point of having money already banked, is that you don't fret about that. All right. So this is a little bit more encouraging than what happened over here. You can already see it. I'm also watching what's going on with the spread and the business that's going through. So it's not just looking at candles on a chart. Right. So you just saw even more come in here. So this sold off and this went straight back up with more business. I have got an order up here because it's the transition. There's been no letting up on this business going through, and it's lifting offers, isn't it? Got done just here. That was sitting in the book, and now I'm out. Now, this could just go all the way to the upside, but that would be the less frequent outcome, right? Just in dealing with transition. So now it's a case of looking for the next playing field opportunity. So that wasn't my first attempt at getting up there. That was the second. So that just shows that, you know, sometimes you've got to have more than one go. Now, what do we very frequently see? You see it transitions, just a lot of rotation around those areas. And that's because there's a lot of interest on both sides of the ledger from an inventory point of view. And we've just witnessed two examples of expansion. Right, so here was the first one. And in this move here, here's expansion, but notice that as time passes, expansion moves up. So I didn't get out at the top, but I'm happy that I'm flat now and this two-sided type stuff. All right, so have a look at the way the market's changed its behavior. So first swing, second swing, but this is different to that. We have low acceptance up here. We know that because the transition's blue. So we know that we're going into that. So I don't want to nick off in case we definitively move into this next playing zone, because they're the areas where we can see some rapid acceleration. Look how you're just getting the most common outcome here at a transition and expansion. This is what we're in, the odds business. So what we're seeing now is not what happens every time, it's what happens most of the time. And that's the beauty of having a process, is that we want to trade where things happen most of the time. And so most of the time you do not want to be long here or short here, do you? You don't want to have a position. Still got a hole in value with the ASX only. We're seeing the classic, I was watching the news before trading and the comment was, everything, I'm paraphrasing, I can't remember the exact words, but it's all flat and no one's doing anything ahead of the rate change. But what do we see? Not every time, but very frequently. Big moves pre the rate. Look how much we've come off the lows, which were at 68, 65. So we're up 40 basis points. Not a meaningless move, is it? Right? The beauty of having a process where you get out. Whereas what a lot of traders will be doing is they would have had their fingers crossed and like, well, maybe this can keep going. But those same traders now, not all of them, but you just have to think about the situation. If you were faced with it yourself, you're like, shit, I can't give the whole amount back. I'll have to get out. Yeah, let your winners run. Well, there's an element of truth to that, but you've got to do it in the right spots. So what's a good example of that not working? Bitcoin, 2022. So no, we're not going long here because that's not even close to something that resembles behavior that has a high odds of us. If we have a loss, it's tiny. High odds that we at least get on side and a small cushion. So now we wait to see if we can move beyond this complex stuff, because trading in here is costly. You just get whipped around. And the good thing about it, I guess, is that you get a mental break. So just be mindful that Finance Minister Suzuki is speaking on Japanese intervention, and naturally, like the price, the way the market's behaving is typical of when something like what I just mentioned is occurring. So have a look at there. Obviously, we can't see if they're still there, but where those big orders were, at least they were there in the depth. So one of them's at CME VWAP. What's the other one at? Close of yesterday's VWAP. So they're not random. All right, so we still haven't got away from this rotation around the transition. There's been no trades. There's been plenty of stuff to draw people in and punt, but nothing that's a genuine trade. Big bid, Right now, I'm guessing that's the bid from lower that they pulled. You can tell just by looking at the behavior that this is inside dominance, pinging it between two areas. That's the second big sell, isn't it? Well, there was one earlier. So we've still got plenty of headroom left. We're only at the edge of the playing field. We just come in a little bit. I've just gone long here. It's obvious to tell why I did that, yeah? I just front ran what you're seeing now. Why am I still in? Because where are the best places to make money? Right, multiple failures, but we haven't stopped going up. Now, what did I say about having a mental break? See how just waiting, watch everyone else get sucked in. I entered and I just went on side like that. Right, there's my entry just there. You can see it. Kind of qualifies as failing to continue up. So again, it's that, okay, well, I better take some, but I know where we are. I know where our best payouts are. I watched all the inventory beforehand come in. Remember the two big sells? I've seen all the slippage. We're in the right zone. There's a theme in play that we haven't yet broken. First mouse, that's kind of the second mouse. Hanging in by a whisker on this theme. No acceptance as the price moved down. Theme still in play. Push through. Plenty of covering. What's important to know now? Theme still in play. See this theme? So I can use that as my guiding tool if I want to take some off. But we are in what? The absolute premium environment for the big trades. So of course, I'm naturally not just going to get completely flat because that's not what we do when we're in the best opportunities. And the market's showing me here it's in a theme. Hey, look where we stopped. Expansion. Now I'm going to run out of powder before we get up to the no longer long. What else do we know? Like, just think context-wise. We know that these types of moves happen on a rate day. So, as I said, once we're into the cushion phase and well and truly, my eyes move away from the DOM and look at everything else around me and looking for reasons why the market might pause here. So my suggestion is have a look at the daily profile for yesterday, the full CME session. You'll see where the market pulled up. We're killing that theme. So, right. So again, started to see why this was likely to come to an end.